There has been a significant controversy surrounding Representative Liu's recent claims about Donald Trump and the Epstein files. Critics, especially many Republicans, are pushing back strongly against these allegations, arguing that Liu's accusations are unfounded and politically motivated. Many Republicans are emphasizing that Liu's claims appear to be an attempt to distract the public from more serious issues. They contend that the focus on Trump in connection with Epstein is part of a broader political narrative aimed at tarnishing his reputation ahead of elections or judicial proceedings. Critics argue that Liu is selectively interpreting the Epstein files to insinuate misconduct by Trump without concrete evidence linking him directly to illegal activities. Furthermore, critics point out that Liu's accusations lack legal backing. They highlight that the Epstein case involves complex legal questions, and so far, no credible evidence has been produced that definitively connects Trump to Epstein's criminal network. They argue that raising such allegations without solid proof undermines the integrity of the legal process and amounts to smear tactics. In addition, critics are scrutinizing the legal comments made by officials like Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Some say that Blanche's assertion that it's not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein is a misstatement of the law. Critics explain that if someone knowingly participates in Epstein's sex trafficking operations by attending his parties, that could indeed constitute a crime under federal law. They argue that law enforcement should investigate all potential connections thoroughly, including Trump's, rather than dismissing them prematurely.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage the press to go look at these allegations, and I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, of the federal sex trafficking law. So Deputy General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now, who were girls at the time, who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell, moved her to a minimum security prison, and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he's just got to leave the Department of Justice.
There's also concern over the handling of evidence related to Epstein's victims. Critics condemn the release of unredacted photos of minors, calling it a serious privacy violation and a breach of ethical standards. They argue this was an unnecessary and damaging breach of victims' privacy, and it hampers justice by re-traumatizing victims and discouraging others from coming forward. Finally, critics note that some reports indicate Epstein's associates, like Ghislaine Maxwell, met with high-profile individuals and even facilitated meetings that might have involved influential figures. However, they emphasize that accusations should be based on verified evidence rather than speculation, and that law enforcement should follow the facts wherever they lead. In summary, critics and Republicans are calling for a cautious, evidence-based approach to the Epstein case. They argue that political accusations and sensationalism undermine the pursuit of justice and distract from the real issues at hand. They insist that all individuals, regardless of their political stature, should be investigated thoroughly and fairly, based on concrete evidence, not political narratives. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more news on politics and entertainment.